Hello everybody, how are you guys doing? Happy New Year! I haven't updated my channel for about 10 months. I was working on another project which took a lot of my time. Anyway, let's focus on what I can do now. Against the Storm was released in December. I enjoyed the early access version a lot, so I'm eager to see how the fully released version looks like. This video contains 3 chapters. First part is to refresh my memory of this game, so it involves reading through some tutorial pages in the game. If you are already familiar with the game mechanics, feel free to skip. Second part is my very first non-tutorial settlement in the game's fully released version. I'm having a humble start on the lowest difficulty level, which is Settler. And finally, hopefully the interesting part of this video is about reforging the Bronze Seal at the end of the first Storm cycle. Okay, without further ado, let's begin.
The world is plagued by the Blight Storm, a vile cycle of destruction ravaging everything in its path. The only safe haven is the smoldering city, where the mysterious Scorched Queen reigns. You are one of her viceroys, a pioneer sent into the wilds, tasked with establishing new settlements and acquiring valuable resources for the crown. Your goal is to help rebuild the smoldering city and secure the future of the Queen's subjects.
Okay, this is the first tutorial settlement. I will do some reading before starting my first settlement. Winning and losing. This I remember. I need to collect enough reputation points before the Queen's patience runs out, and I will also lose if all of my villagers either leave or die. Exploration. To establish a successful settlement, you'll have to cut your way through the glades. Glades can contain resources, treasures, fertile soil, ruined buildings, and more. The best rewards come from dangerous or forbidden glades, but these always have at least one dangerous glade event within them. Logistics. Every building has its own internal storage, where the goods it produces or gathers are temporarily stored. When the internal storage reaches its limit, the goods in it will be transported to the main warehouse by a worker. While transporting, it's important to keep in mind that villagers have a limited carry capacity, so they might need to walk between their workplace and the main warehouse multiple times. Goods kept in a building's internal storage can also be accessed by workers from other production buildings. If 2 buildings are close enough and use each other's internal storage, an animated dotted line will be visible between them. Sometimes deliveries and production might stall for a while because of breaks. Every few minutes, workers will return to a nearby hearth to eat and rest. During a break, they'll consume at least 1 item of food and try to fulfill all their needs. This is important information. If I now place a crude workstation, the game tells me that it can use the storage of the 2 gathering camps close by, as well as the main warehouse. Reputation points. You can gain reputation points by successfully completing orders, by exploring your surroundings, or by keeping your villagers happy. To gain reputation for villagers' well-being, you have to increase their resolve so that it reaches the reputation threshold. After that, they will start generating reputation points passively. With time, your villagers will become accustomed to their living conditions, and the reputation threshold will increase, forcing you to satisfy more complex needs. Having read that, let's see the humans' resolve now. Current resolve 15, future resolve 16, reputation threshold 30. That means only after I raise their resolve to 30 will I start gaining reputation from them. Good to know. What about food? Your villagers need to eat in order to survive. Every few minutes, they will go on a break, gather around the hearth, and try to get something edible from the warehouse. If nothing they like is available, they will eat raw food. If there's no food whatsoever, villagers will get 1 stack of the hunger effect. Each stack works as a resolve penalty. If resolve of a species reaches 0, they will start leaving the settlement. Each species can only withstand a certain number of hunger stacks before dying of starvation. Even if you grow vegetables on your farm, the amount of food you produce will soon become insufficient for a growing population. The solution is to process raw food and thus multiply it, as most recipes yield more goods than the raw materials used to produce them. Let's see this in practice. The smokehouse produces 10 jerkies from 4 streams. That's more than double, which is nice. So it's not only about making better food to keep the villagers happy, it's also about making more food from the ingredients. Services. Services needs include things like leisure, luxury, or religion. To fulfill them, the village will need a suitable service building, such as a tavern or a market. Once the appropriate building has been built, workers must be assigned to it. They will then take goods from the warehouse, bring them back to their workplace, and serve them to residents. Villagers don't have to physically go to a service building to fulfill their service needs. They will still rest at the hearth as usual, but for them to fulfill the need for leisure, a tavern must be present and operating somewhere in the settlement. After completing the tutorials, it's time to start my very first settlement. Your goal as a viceroy is to reach the ancient seals with your caravan and reforge them, pushing back the blight storm. This is new, I can't wait to try it. Now where should I build my first settlement? Monastery of the Holy Flame. The monks of the Holy Flame are a fanatically egalitarian order. You cannot forbid consumption or favor any species. Special reward, royal resupply. Royal Outpost. The proximity of the royal outpost makes it easier to communicate with the crown. The pool of order choices will increase by 1. Where is the seal? Bronze Seal. This area contains a weakening ancient seal. At the end of the cycle, if the seal is within your embarkation range, you can try to reforge it. Requirements: 4 seal fragments. Rewards: plus 10% citadel resources at the end of the cycle. Consequences: cycle duration permanently increased by 8. I think I will work towards this seal. My first settlement will be this town next to the modifier called Monastery of the Holy Flame. I know I cannot favor any species or forbid consumption, but this option I haven't unlocked anyway. Next to that, we have the Gathering Knowledge biome effect. Gathering speed is increased by 10% for every 2 workers assigned to gathering camps. And next, we have the Giant Organism. Giant resource nodes can be found in Forbidden Glades. We see under the Conditions tab that on Settler difficulty, which is the lowest, we gain 1 seal fragment per settlement. On Pioneer difficulty, we will get 2. At the end of the cycle, we will need 4 to reforge the Bronze Seal. That's something to bear in mind. Step by step, I'll start with the Settler difficulty. When I get better, hopefully, I will challenge the higher ones. The first caravan has 8 beavers plus 2 more villages. The second has 2 beavers, 5 lizards plus 2 villages. I'm going for the first one because it gives more villages to start with. There's a lot to do at the starting phase of a settlement, so more villages will help. As to the embarkation bonuses, I'll spend 2 out of 3 on food. Now we are good to embark. The forest mysteries. I should take note of the negatives. We always have looming darkness, minus 40 global resource during storm season. And then from hostility level 2 onwards, we also have no contact. Gaining reputation doesn't lower impatience. That's not so bad. After paving the roads, we definitely need to place woodcutters camps. Please only cut down to marked trees. That means these and these, so we can explore these 2 small glades. We are lucky that this starting area contains quite some resource deposits. We have small grass-capped mushrooms, small snake nests, and small stone deposits. Small nodes can be gathered with the small gathering camps. These can be built without unlocking any blueprint. The large nodes can only be worked on after we unlock the corresponding gathering camp blueprints. I should assign villages to work in the camps. I like it that the game now marks which species match the camp specialization bonus. In total, we have 10 villages in our settlement. The lizard works in the hearth as a firekeeper. 6 beavers work in the 2 woodcutters camps. 2 others work in the small herbalist camp. That leaves us with 1 builder. That's why I prefer caravans that come with more villages. I always feel there are not enough workers when we start a settlement. We can choose 3 blueprints now. I prefer buildings with 3 stars to a product. That means it can produce goods using less raw materials. So, rain mill, please. Should I go for weaver or clothier? Clothier because fabric we can also make in the crude workstation, even though that's not very efficient. And then smokehouse. End of the first year, we upgrade the hearth to level 1. Our 10 villages have a home, and we have discovered 2 small glades. A new year starts. We welcome our newcomers, 2 beavers and 1 human. Still prefer to have more workers. The cornerstones we can pick either the rich glades, newly discovered resource nodes have more charges, or the protected trade. Hostility is reduced by 10 points every time you sell goods worth 30 ember. I'm tempted to just decline and get 10 ember. Okay, rich glades. And by the end of the second year, we have almost 3 reputation points, another 9 to go. In total, we now have 17 villages. Forest hostility level is still 0. I haven't built any industry buildings yet. Need to hurry. Apart from housing, buildings in our settlement don't offer anything else to raise the village's resolve. Fast forward another year, what have we achieved? 22 villages, 4.5 reputation points with 2 orders ready to deliver. Finally, we cut into a dangerous glade. Now I know I should have done this earlier. The dangerous event's consequence will take another 12 minutes to hit us. That's some years away. So let's say it started ticking in the first year when we didn't have much in our settlement yet. We still had time to build the logistics to produce the required materials. These events reward reputation points that will definitely help us succeed the settlement sooner. End of year 4, 26 villages, 5 reputation points with 4 orders completed. That means we are at 9. 3 more to go. Forest hostility is still at 0. And our settlement is now offering pies loved by humans and lizards, as well as jerky the lizards like. Another year has passed. We now have, 38 villages, almost 7 reputation points, 3 orders ready to be delivered, that's 10. We have also put in place the production of biscuits and clothing. Too bad I was aiming to complete the settlement within 5 years, but we only managed to finish the required orders at the beginning of the 6th year. Lesson learned. Going forward, I should be more aggressive and cut into dangerous glades earlier. Now we can pick a royal resupply. I'd like to increase the embarkation range by 2, please. Thank you. Every time we complete a settlement, we gain experience points and different currencies. As we level up, we unlock new blueprints, traders, and cornerstones. We also get home decoration items. Yes, we now have a home in the smoldering city. Welcome to my home, everybody. This is Aunt Laurie, the Queen's Hen, and here you see the beautiful uniform I got earlier. So in addition to the encyclopedia in-game, we can ask questions at home too. I unlocked the harpy species after reaching level 5, and Aunt Laurie knows the story about them.
I hear you've gained the trust of the flock. It must be exciting to finally be able to take harpies with you on an expedition. But before you embark with them, there are a few things you should know. They are native to the Red Mountain. So when the citadel was first built, their home was forcibly incorporated into the city limits. As you can imagine, this sparked a lot of conflict in the kingdom's early years, particularly between the harpies and the lizards, who never had much fondness for one another to begin with. It also didn't help that back then, the harpies were battling a new and strange disease that took away their ability to fly. To this day, they still require constant treatment, and it's uncertain if they will ever fully recover.
So far, so good. Now we are ready to reforge the Reforge Seal. Let's look at game history. This is the first storm cycle. After the 2 tutorial towns, I did 4 more settlements on settler difficulty, and the last 2 were done on the pioneer difficulty. We have 8 steel fragments, while the bronze seal only asks for 4. I switched back to settler difficulty, as this is my first time embarking the sealed forest map. We have abyssal revenge. Woodcutters don't increase hostility, but every 10 felled trees add 2 hostility points. Next up is the hidden seal. A broken ancient seal is hidden somewhere in the forest. To find it, you must first look for clues in the surrounding glades. Its mere presence in this land summons foul plagues upon your settlement during the storm. On the plus side, we have the beacon tower. This powerful ancient structure will allow you to summon aid directly from the citadel. In addition, there's overgrown vegetation. Overgrown trees with more resource charges can be found in the forest. Okay, here we are. Our first sealed forest challenge. The villages are 7 beavers and 1 harpy. A beaver firekeeper reduces fuel consumption in the hearth by 20%. A harpy firekeeper increases global carrying capacity by 5. I prefer a harpy firekeeper. And then the usual things we do in the first year. Build roads and woodcutters camps. We place the herbalist camp to gather the berries. And then we need to build shelters for everybody. Here comes the interesting part. We cut into the first glade and we see this guardian stone. It is not known where the guardian stones came from or what their original purpose was, but they are imbued with magic and always point in the direction of a nearby seal. Following the guardian stone, we work towards this area of the forest. In the second year, we discover the seal.
The seal opens. The monstrosities locked inside want to take over this world again. Hungry for revenge, they release different plagues upon the settlement with every storm. Collecting 4 different parts of the ancient guardian and closing the seal is the only way to win. There's no time to waste. May the storm be gentle on you, Viceroy.
Plague of Malady will be here around 6 minutes later. Before that, we should either produce 8 packs of crops, 8 packs of provisions, and 8 packs of building materials, or we open 2 caches, or we sacrifice 125 woods at the ancient hearth. Checking the makeshift post, we do not have enough resources to make 8 packs of crops. This is when we can seek help from the beacon tower. Your Highness, may I ask for 40 grains? Thank you. Before the storm season of the 2nd year, we managed to open 2 caches.
You have the Guardian's heart, but you still have a long way to go. Choose your next steps wisely. Time is ticking, and as the years go by, the sealed ones will unleash even more terrible plagues upon the settlement. May the Holy Flame protect you.
What we need to do next is to either reach standing level 2 with 2 settlements on trade routes, or earn 3 reputation points from events, or from resolve. Oh no, even though we completed the previous task from the seal, we still get the Plague of Malady. The ancient seal is crumbling, releasing a new plague every storm. Plague of Malady. The sealed ones have inflicted a mysterious disease on the settlements. Villages take 50% longer rest and have a 100% higher chance of consuming twice as much food during a break. Again, right before the storm season, in the 3rd year, that's 15 seconds before the Plague of Darkness hits, we have earned 3 reputation points from events. Okay, acquire. What's next?
The blood of the Guardian already flows in its heart. Now we need something that will help it rise high above this evil land. With its countenance, it will shield our world from the terrors of the depths. Maybe I'll finally get to see it, for the first time, with my own eyes.
To use the 3rd seal fragment, we need to deliver 40 embers or have at least 15 villages with a complex food need fulfilled, plus 15 services need fulfilled for 60 seconds, or complete any Forbidden Glade event. What is the Plague of Darkness? Some say this is the beginning of the end. The storm season is 100% longer, and sacrificing goods at the ancient hearth is banned. It turns out that getting 40 embers is not that difficult. We just keep opening abandoned caches in the settlements. Before the storm season ends, and we are still in the 3rd year, we deliver 40 embers.
The Guardian begins to take shape. All that is left is to breathe a living, spiritual essence into it, so that it will finally rise and defeat our enemies with the power it has torn from them. People have regained hope, although they suffer more than ever. They still believe in you. Don't fail us now.
The last challenge. We need to deliver 4 ancient tablets and complete 2 dangerous or Forbidden Glade events within 1,200 seconds, or we keep humans resolve above 35 and beaver resolve above 30 for 300 seconds, or we complete 5 trade routes worth at least 15 embers and deliver 50 packs of luxury goods. The next storm hits in the 4th year, which brings the Plague of Fishmen. Fishmen will summon 1 dangerous or Forbidden Glade event near the ancient hearth. This is actually working in our favor because one way of finishing the ancient seal challenge is to complete 2 dangerous glade events in quick succession. We are in the 4th year and our blue bar is almost full, but this settlement cannot be won by getting enough reputation points. We have to reforge the seal, that means completing the 4th seal fragment challenge. Before the end of the 4th year, we find this large abandoned cache which contains 3 ancient tablets. After breaking it open, we have enough tablets to take off the last chest and reforge the ancient seal. It's done. The sealed ones are imprisoned once again. Now that we have reforged the bronze seal, we can end this cycle. I quite enjoy reforging the bronze seal. It's fun to cut through the forest looking for the seal, to weather through the storm, and to win the game in a different way, not worrying about reputation points but focusing on other challenges. The second cycle begins. As the bronze seal is reforged, we now have 40 years before the next blight storm. It used to be 32 years. I will continue on a higher difficulty level and try to reforge the lead seal. See you next time!